We are the combination of five. How's it go? We are the combination of the five people closest to us. I'm sure you've heard that before. I've heard that a lot. And every time I hear it, it kind of gives me pause and I think if that's true for me, maybe that doesn't apply to everyone. Maybe you feel like it doesn't apply to you. My combination of the five people closest to me. Yeah, I think so. I'm thinking right now, like you probably are too, of my five closest friends, the ones I spend the most time with. And what I see in them, I also see in myself. And I see mostly good things, which I'm happy about, which I'm proud of. I think what it shows is that I've done a good job of surrounding myself with people who want the best for me, which is Rule 3 in the 12 Rules for Life book, which was a series on my channel before I forgot about that. Maybe I'll revitalize that again. But combination of the five people closest to you. I think that applies to me. And that's what I want to talk about. And I'll let you think about an answer for that. And while you're thinking, I want to take a few minutes to talk about friends. Because friends are very important to us. We're very social creatures. I think that it's vital to our mental health to be talking to and socializing and connecting with people, maybe if not on a daily basis, which, I mean, I would recommend that, but if not on a daily basis, then at least a few times a week. At least a few times a week, you want to be connecting with people. Or maybe if you don't connect with people, at the very least, you have some small talk. And small talk, everyone hates small talk. I know it can be very awkward, but it's a good idea to talk to people. It's a good idea. Friends are very important. Now, I don't care at the same time, while I do say that friends are important, I don't really care how many friends you have. I don't care if you're more popular than me. And that was a huge thing in high school, right? How popular people were. And high school is just one giant stereotype in and of itself, with the jocks and nerds and all of that, which I didn't think was a real thing. I saw it in the movies growing up before I went to high school, and I was like, that's not what high school's like. It's exactly what high school's like, for some reason. The movies got that right. They did. I don't really care how popular you were back in high school. I don't care how popular you are now. I don't care if you have 100 friends, whether that's Facebook friends or well, let's focus on real life friends. I don't care if you have 100 friends in real life. I want to see how many of your friends are real friends. It's quality over quantity. That's what I want to talk about. Real friends. Because the way I see it is, it's much better to have 5 close friends, which kind of goes back to the combination of 5 people closest to. I'd rather have 5 very close friends who I can confide in, who I can trust, and who can trust me and confide in me, because it's a reciprocal relationship. That's what it should be, a friendship. I'd rather have 5 people who are very close to me, who get me, than 100 people that I barely know. 5 close friends instead of 100 acquaintances, people who maybe even pretend that they like me for whatever reason. I think this hit hard for me when I started taking, because I like to get into a habit of evaluating the relationships I'm in every once in a while. I'll take some time, I'll pause, maybe it takes a few minutes, at most a few minutes, and I just think about the relationships I'm in, the relationships I've been fostering for a while, the ones I've recently entered in, and ones that I've let die and let go. And I think about the reasons why I'm in those relationships, why I started those relationships, why I let those other relationships die. So I think it's important to have real friends. And I think a way to determine whether or not you have real friends is to look at some red flags. And I think there's no better red flag to look out for in a relationship than having to defend yourself. What I mean is, when you're out with your friend or friends, whether it's with one person who you've known for a while or a whole group of friends you've known for a while, when you're out with them, do you find yourself having to explain yourself? Do you find yourself having to defend yourself? When you say something or do something, do people jump on you immediately? Are you criticized for what you do and what you say and what you think? For sharing your opinions, do people jump on your back immediately? Maybe you have several different friend groups. Maybe in one friend group that never happens, and you feel like you can say whatever you want. You feel like a totally different person. But when you get into your other friend group, you find yourself silencing your opinions. You find yourself hesitating and thinking about what you should say, thinking about what's the most socially acceptable thing to say in the situation. That's a red flag. And the reason why I say that, like with everything I'm going to talk about on my channel, is because I've been through it before. I can speak on experience with these things, and I've had plenty of these kind of experiences. It took me a while to figure out what the red flags are, to realize what I should be looking out for. If you find yourself having to explain yourself to your friend or friends, defending yourself, defending your actions, if you feel criticized, if you feel ostracized from your own friend group, that's a red flag. And something's wrong. And I would say what that means is that there are some hard but necessary conversations that need to be had. And once you have those hard but necessary conversations, one of two things will happen. The person you talk to will realize that they've done something wrong. After you've told them what's been bothering you, they'll listen to you, they'll understand, and they'll tell you, hey, I'm sorry, I really care about this friendship we have. I didn't realize what I was doing, but I do now. I thank you for bringing it up, bring it to my attention, and I'm going to try my best to improve and do better in the future. The other possibility is you tell your friend, you tell that other person, and they don't get it. They don't get it. They choose to remain ignorant. They choose to remain willfully blind to everything they've been doing, and good. I think in both cases it's a win-win. Because in one case, with the friend who wants to work on the friendship, you realize, okay, they're actually a good person, they're a good friend, they've made some mistakes, but we can actually try again. And this time we're rebuilding the friendship on the foundations of trust and honesty and open communication, which are the building blocks for any strong, healthy relationship, no matter what, platonic, romantic, whatever. If it doesn't happen, and the person you talk to, that you bring your concerns to, doesn't get it and isn't willing to work on it, good. You can let that die, because that friendship no longer serves you. You've put up with it for far too long. You've realized it's not good for you. Now you can let it go. You can let that die. Thanks for listening, guys. Hope it helps. Catch you in the next video.